Your dental patients don't really care about all of the fancy equipment that you have in your practice. The reason why a lot of dental websites don't perform very well is because they show pictures and they talk about things that do nothing but stroke the dentist's ego, not things that patients actually want to see or that they're interested in reading about. In this video, we're going to do a breakdown of the types of content and photos that you can put on your dental website that will actually help you attract more new patients. Hi, I'm Nick from RevUp Dental, the company that helps dentists get more new patients, grow their practice, and beat their competition. A common request we get from our dental clients is to feature all of the fancy equipment that they've purchased at their office. They want to show off their CEREC machine or their CBCT scanner or their dental laser. They want to make sure that everyone knows that their office is not like everyone else, that they're state of the art. Now, I get it. You've spent a lot of money to equip your practice with the best equipment. It's natural to want to make sure that this is front and center on your website so that everybody knows. However, there are two main reasons why this doesn't work, and in many respects, it actually works against you. The first reason is that in 99% of cases, you probably don't have anything that's really all that special. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with dentists who are showing off their fancy new laser or their intraoral camera or some sort of fancy gadget that they bought, and they feel that this is going to help them really stand out from the competition. They feel like they are one of the only dentists who have that equipment because that's what the sales rep told them. And they feel that they need to really promote this because, again, that's what the sales rep told them to do. And then I go on Google and I find 20 or 30 other dentists in the area that all have the exact same equipment. This is something that happens all the time. And you have to remember that dental supply companies have some of the most talented salespeople on the planet. They are absolute experts at getting dentists to buy a bunch of fancy gadgets by making them feel that this will help them really stand out from other dentists in their area. And unfortunately, in 99% of cases, this just is not true at all. Now, it is important to have up-to-date equipment to do better dental work, to do it faster, to do it more efficiently. But if you think some piece of equipment is going to help you stand out or to give you a big edge over other dentists in your area, you are sadly mistaken. Now, there's a second reason why it's not really effective to show or talk about your equipment on your website, is that patients don't really care. Patients have a pretty limited attention span when they come to your website, so you don't want to squander that time by talking about things that they have little to no interest in. Let me give you a good example here. Imagine you're trying to sell tickets to a cruise vacation. Now, instead of talking about how they're going to discover the world, they're going to dance the night away in beautiful cities, they're going to enjoy the sun and the warmth. No. Instead, you run an advertisement talking about the diesel engines that power the cruise ship, how big they are, how much horsepower they produce. You talk about how your cruise ship is equipped with the latest and the best navigation system. You know, we're not like other cruise ships. We're connected to much better GPS satellites for our navigation. We're state of the art. Instead of our position being accurate on the map to 5 meters, our navigation system is accurate to 2 meters. Order your tickets today. How successful do you think this would be? This is why a lot of dental websites produce little to no results. They're built to impress the dentist and to stroke their ego rather than actually impress patients. You have to remember that when you're trying to sell someone on Invisalign, for example, that person is considering whether they should do Invisalign or whether they should go on a vacation cruise with their friends. And cruise companies in general do a much better job of marketing their services than dentists do. What should you talk about on your website? What pictures should you show? Well, when it comes to content, you want to focus mostly on what a patient can expect from coming in. If somebody is looking for Invisalign, for example, you don't want to spend a lot of time explaining what Invisalign is like a lot of dental websites do, because nobody's going to land on your website or your Invisalign page not knowing what Invisalign is and then read your content and say, oh, that's what Invisalign is. You know, I never knew. I don't need Invisalign, but I was just curious to find out. Now, it's okay to have a bit of that content explaining the service, but it's more for SEO reasons, to help Google understand that you actually do provide this service. The vast majority of your content, though, should be around things like, how is this treatment carried out? How long does it take? Does it hurt? Do I need to take time off work? What can I expect to happen when I come to your office? How do you do the procedure? Why should I pick you over, other dental practices in the area? Things of that nature. You want to talk about what makes you different from other practices. This is where you can sort of touch upon your equipment, but you need to make sure that it's not the main focus or you'll lose people's attention. For example, if you have a CEREC machine, you can say that our office is equipped to do same-day crowns. You would focus on the content on the benefit that that equipment provides, not what the equipment is, because again, patients don't understand and they're not really going to care. You can also focus a bit of content on the dentist who's going to provide the treatment. For bigger cases like implants or ortho, people will want to know that the dentist who's doing the work is an expert. While you can't necessarily state that you're an expert because that may go against the advertising guidelines of the governing body, you can usually say something like, Dr. So-and-so has been practicing dentistry for 30 years and has performed over 2,000 implant cases. Or Dr. So-and-so has been doing implants for 15 years and regularly teaches at the local university. Again, you want to review the advertising guidelines for your state or province and make sure that you don't break any rules, but you can usually have a nice section on the page talking a little bit about the dentist from the angle of, this is how their experience is going to benefit you as a patient. Now, much like when it comes to dental equipment, you don't want a section that's going to talk about how Dr. So-and-so has 4 kids and he enjoys hiking and fishing on the weekends. Because again, nobody cares. It has to revolve around the patient and their needs and how your experience is going to help them. Now, when it comes to photos, you want to follow the same examples you see with vacation advertising. Pictures of happy people, happy patients, pictures of your staff in the practice, smiling, having fun, pictures of kids coming in for their, first checkup, pictures of staff events, things like that. What you don't want is pictures of an empty office. You don't want pictures of an empty operatory or pictures of your equipment or your sterilization area or your CBCT scanner. Nobody's going to look at a picture of an empty dental chair with a bunch of sharp and pointy instruments on the table beside it and think, wow, that looks like a lot of fun. We see this all the time with dental websites, and I can tell you it is going to tank your conversion rate of that website. Again, think of it like the cruise vacation. You want to show pictures of guests having a blast on the ship, having a wonderful vacation. You don't want to show pictures of the engine room or pictures of empty rooms on the ship or just random equipment. What your photos need to convey is that you have a nice modern dental office, you have warm and friendly staff, and patients seem to be having a lot of fun and they are happy to come to your office. Things like photos and content usually seem very trivial to most dentists, but the reality is they can either make or break your practice. The success of a cruise ship is not based on how state-of-the-art the ship's navigation systems are or how many certifications the captain holds. It's largely based on the marketing that attracts passengers and the experience those passengers have once they get onto that cruise ship. The exact same thing happens with dentistry. Your success as a dentist is much more dependent on your ability to attract patients and the experience those patients have once they come into your office than it is on your clinical skill. This isn't to say that quality dental care isn't important, but as a dentist, you need to make sure that you're not neglecting other areas of the practice, which are going to lead to really poor results over the long term. I hope you found this video useful. If you want to see more videos like this one, consider subscribing to our channel or visit us at RevUpDental.com. Thanks for watching.